Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This is a support reading for empaths and highly sensitive people. Okay, I have tried to record this so many times and I don't know what's stopping the energy, so here we go. I've never received also such a specific message. I think that's why I'm shocked that I'm having so many blockages to get this recording out. It's insane. It's a repeating message over and over again. We are coming to an end of a cycle. The collective I'm reading for today feels very advanced, feels very close to mastery um, on their journey with their sensitivity and their gifts. The group of empaths and highly sensitive people that I'm speaking to today already know that their sensitivity is a superpower. It doesn't, this just does not feel like, you know, um, empathy 101. We're not there. We're way beyond that. The group I'm speaking for today has a massive soul calling to something greater. In the unconscious position, we have share your gifts. So many of you understand your greatness, understand your brilliance, but are not yet ready to bring your gifts out into your communities, into the world. And I have to ask you, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you couldn't fail, if failure wasn't an option and you had unlimited resources, what would you do? Let yourself dream a little bit. Let yourself just stream of consciousness. Let yourself go to those places of what would it be like to share your gifts out in the world and be successful and feel safe and supported. What is your soul calling you to do? What are these gifts? What is the first thing that comes to mind? All of this guidance is divinely shared and given. We're coming into a massive awareness around our boundaries and what we actually know. Okay, how I'm reading this, and it's so interesting because my initial energy is to read for a group that aren't as skilled. But again, I have to keep taking it higher. It's very common for empaths and highly sensitive people. We have to learn about boundaries, right? We talk about boundaries and consent like very early on our journey to just to survive, just to be in this world and not absorb everybody's stuff and all of this energy. We have to have boundaries for ourselves, boundaries for others. And that's not who I'm talking to right now. The group of people I'm talking to right now have sacrificed a lot to gain the strength to access their sovereignty and uphold these boundaries. The group I'm speaking for now are incredibly self reliant. They take up enough space to go at their own pace so they can access wise discernment. You're going to hear me say that almost in every reading because it's a cornerstone of my life and as a highly sensitive person and empath. We are only moving from an authentic place. We are reassessing everything in our life right now because we are at an intersection. We are at an intersection of the old and the new. And where do we want to go? What is our intention for this moment and our dreams and our divine guidance? How can we show up in excuse me, in integrity and in alignment and step out in service to the world? It's interesting. It just blows my mind. So in the unconscious positions, we also have success and fertility. Okay, so these are two sides of the same coin here. So this is all root chakra stuff. it's funny, I did a twin flame reading earlier, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was the divine masculine that was also confronting root chakra stuff and doing work to build a firm foundation. So I kind of feel like the group I'm reading for right now is also working on root chakra stuff. So root chakra stuff, if you don't know, is first of all, root chakra is our lowest chakra. It's our first chakra, and it has to do with stability in this world, financial stability, mental emotional stability, feelings of safety in this world. And of course, it's your root. So that's, the first and second chakra is where your like reproductive things, your sensuality, your creativity. So oftentimes when our money is blocked, I'm going to be very specific and say money. And I think oftentimes with sensitive creatures, when it comes to our gifts, there's so many money blocks. There's so many, you know, historically, I would say we have felt unworthy to put a value on our gifts, right? Because as an empath and highly sensitive person, usually you're very compassionate and loving person. And how can you put a monetary value on love, right? Or on the flip side, we grew up in a society usually that hasn't supported our gifts, right? We grew up in a very patriarchal society. So the softer elements, the softer energies have not been historically valued in a legitimate financial monetary way. This is all changing. We are shifting the paradigm towards an energy system. We are moving from trying to start in matter and then reach spirit. We are moving from that system to now starting in the realm of spirit and shifting and birthing things from spirit into matter. Spirit has to come first. Energy has to come first. And we already know that. But the world doesn't. And maybe that's one of your gifts. Maybe that's why I'm saying it now. What else? Okay, the other big thing too is creating boundaries with yourself about your body, coming into inner balance with your physical form. Sorry, I was just remembering something a teacher said to me. One of my teachers had said to me, probably going to get it wrong, but your mind is in your body and your body is in the world. And I'm just going to adjust that a little bit and say your consciousness is in your mind and your mind is in your body and your body is in the world. So bringing that consciousness down into the body, being able to take in all of this data, all of this information without being consumed by it, right? Many of us learned very early on that we were very sensitive to the world's suffering, but we had to learn very quickly how to hold the world's suffering without being consumed by it. So check in with self, check in with self, check in with your body, what is out of balance. It could be something very physical, like, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough exercise? Are you drinking enough water? Or do you have enough downtime? Sorry, I was really drawn to the yin and the yang on the body balance card on the top left in the primary position. Yeah, we are coming in. See, it's just, I'm preventing myself from saying it, but what I actually want to say is that we're balancing our inner feminine and inner masculine. And that's kind of echoing, that's a very twin flamey idea coming into inner union, right? But for empaths and highly sensitive people, we have to actually look at the tangible gifts from the masculine, the tangible gifts from the feminine, because those are actually our rules for living. Like our gifts of being empathic and sensitive to energy, they're very flowy and watery. Those are feminine gifts. But we cannot flow without a container. We need the masculine structure so that we have something, it's like a river needs the riverbanks to flow, right? We can't have loosey goosey energy all over the place. So maybe there's something about coming into a little bit more of a, sorry, I'm just putting something together around where is your masculine energy showing up for your feminine? Are they doing a good job? And how can they do better? How can your inner masculine show up for your inner feminine? Because once our home life in that our interior castle is set, then we will feel secure enough to step out in the world and share our gifts. We need that firm foundation to lean on before we can feel safe enough and regulated to step out and share our gifts. Yeah, we are having profound love for self, and we are honoring whatever feelings arise, and we're not dismissing them. We're not sweeping them under the carpet. This is how we become self-reliant. Once our soul realizes they can rely on us, they will carry us to greater places. We will be able to take on greater challenges because spirit knows they can confidently move through our lives, and we will act accordingly. We will act in a way that is safe for self. We will not put ourselves in harm's way. We will set beautiful, beautiful intentions. Okay, so here's a more specific message. For those of you that maybe already are stepping out and sharing your gifts, take a step back and ask yourself, where in my life am I sacrificing something? And if so, if I am, is it useful? Sacrificing may have carried you through a difficult time, but just check in to see if it still applies. See if your situation still needs it. Because we really shouldn't be sacrificing anything in any part of self. It's interesting. Usually when people, I just get such a business energy off of this. Are some of you stepping out into like creating a soul driven business or some sort of, it just feels like a business. There's so much like wealth and even some of you might be stepping out like in front of the camera, like your face will be known. We have a lot of like financial wealth and fame and birthing energy. So I don't know who that applies for, but just check in with yourself, because you really never have to sacrifice any part of yourself to be successful. I think that's such a big message here. And if you catch yourself and find yourself sacrificing little bits and pieces of yourself over and over again, that's not the right environment for you. That's not the right situation. God or spirit or whatever, the universe, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't put you in a situation where you would have to abandon and reject parts of yourself in order to be successful. That's not why you're here. You're here to carve a path with your gifts. You were made perfectly. Every part of you has a purpose. There's nothing that would cause you or need you to cut and paste certain parts of yourself to be accepted, to make money, to be successful, to be self-reliant. So reassess these things, reassess where you may be abandoning parts of self. And it could be a version of abandonment could also be like you're not speaking your truth. Like, are you abandoning a truth to make someone else more comfortable or feel better? Are you abandoning like a project at work? Is there something you really want to bring into fruition, but you're downplaying it? So check inward to see where in your life you sacrifice, and just check in to see if it's necessary. I mean, I honor and understand that we live in a 3D world, and sometimes you have to sacrifice, especially if you have children, or it's for financial reasons. Like, we all have, of course, that moment where we have to do what we have to do. But I don't get the I'm not picking up that that's what's happening for this group. This group, whoever the heck I am talking to, feels like they are on the road to success, that they're birthing an actual tangible business, whatever that looks like. And it's so, you know what? I think the biggest message here, and I was hesitating saying it, but I'm going to say it. We are in the age of Aquarius. We are shifting paradigms. All of these things that we have, all the ways and reasons we've been maybe bullied or criticized or judged for, people are going to need our gifts. We survived what they are going to have to survive, except we know how to do it. So we're going to have an entire collective of people who are turning towards highly sensitive people and empaths who have learned to hold their center for love of self and other in chaos. And why have we done this? Because we don't see other. There is no other, right? There is only one. Oneness has been my mission since I was a little girl. I can't not feel it. So if I'm feeling it, then it's mine. Then I take responsibility for it. And this is really hard for people. This is hard for people because they can say, well, how can you feel love for someone who's done such horrible, evil things? And again, it's because we love self, and there is only one. And so we have this whole collective of people that are going to have to learn how to access their higher self in a crap load of chaos. And you already know how to do that. So I don't know if maybe your business is going to be, something in the healing arts. Maybe it's coaching, maybe it's oracle readings or tarot readings. It's interesting, in the share your gifts, there's an actual tarot reading taking place on that card. I love it. I'm wondering what this is, and the biggest lesson of all of this is you get to create your reality that's in alignment with your nervous system and with your bliss, with your joy, that's convenient for you, that operates around your energy. And that's not how businesses were built in the very patriarchal, that's not how businesses were built historically. We are coming into this era of the feminine energy. And not only that, let's talk about the whole collective of masculines that maybe have not been taught how to access their feminine energy. I mean, that might be your clientele. I don't know, but the masculine has to heal. And as much as men do heal with other men, I think the feminine, and I have to be let me have a discernment piece. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. I do believe that some of us lean more on one energy or the other, and it could be in any body type. So I want to try not to associate men with masculine and women with feminine. That's all an illusion anyway. But there's going to be a whole slew of masculine energies that are going to have to learn how to step into this caretaking empathic role to be present with their with the parts that they've rejected and abandoned. So yeah, for really really quick, for another group of you, fame is knocking on your door, and I don't know what that looks like. So that's fame, wealth, and success. It's just the message over and over and over again. And this is something I want to speak to. I wouldn't normally talk about this, but it's such a businessy reading. I'm losing my train of feeling. Give me a moment. I lost it. We were talking about fame, wealth, and success. Darn it, I lost it. It'll come back if it's meant to. Let me pull some other cards really quick. Okay, what do empaths and highly sensitive people need to know for the highest and best good of themselves and the planet? Anything else you want to share? Okay, we have it's in you. Well, of course it is. Anything else? Quantum jump. Yep. And service. Ugh, absolutely. So yeah, that's what I was getting. A lot of and I have in the unconscious position, claim your power. Yeah, so a lot of your gifts from an empath and highly sensitive people, we are here to be in service to the world, right? We are here to teach people how to access love of self and other. And if there were more of us doing that, we probably would have we already know, we would have much less strife and war and all the other intense things on the planet if we could all drop into heart space and be in service to the world and recognize, like I said earlier, there is no other. Build strength. Flow like water. I am feeling like getting some Buddha wisdom. Oh, wow. Came flying out. Anything else? Yes. And I lost it. Okay, we have be still and loving and fearless, for mind talks, but the heart knows. You know, we are shifting the paradigm with business as well. We are building the business off of a feminine model, off of a heart centered model, which is like not what our root chakra has typically been built upon. So this whole entire reading is a huge confirmation. If you're thinking about starting a healing business in some capacity, whatever your gifts are, do it. Do it. Jump off a cliff and do it. You're right there. Follow your divine knowing. Honor your boundaries. That's the other thing. We are leaving the models of self-sacrifice. Think about, like, there's so many cultures in the world that praise like overwork, working yourself into the bone. Like in the US, it's like they give you a pat on the back when you don't take vacation days. In the US, we actually have, I think, the highest number of people that don't take vacation days, which is insane. I think we also usually have the least amount of benefits compared to other countries. Yeah, so as like a business kind of structural thing, as you build your business, build in downtime or build in the practices that you need to be a successful, grounded, regulated being in the world. This piece about self-care and healing self, it is the key to healing the world. It is the only way forward. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I hope this was supportive. We got through it together. I didn't know where it was going to go. I've never had like a business reading for highly sensitive people. That is so wild to me. But it just goes to show you where we're at and what level of consciousness we are ascending into or descending into, however you want to say it. Thank you for your presence. I hope this was supportive, and I will see you soon.